All right. We're in business. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy whatever. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy whatever you celebrate. Just thought I'd come on for a little while, see how you guys are doing. I'm learning this new thing called StreamYard that Dave recommended, and it is a little easier than using just plain out and out YouTube. But I'm still learning how to do this too, so bear with me, folks. So, Danny, how is it over in North Carolina? Did you see a Christmas squatch today? I'm just teasing. Uh, but I like your videos, Danny. They're really cool. They're real fun. I appreciate them. Seeing how everybody's Christmas is going. Anybody opening gifts yet? Or anybody doing anything? That'd be kind of cool. I'm just going to hang out here for a while, and whoever pops in, pops in. But I didn't want to feel like everybody here, has nothing, you know, better to do, whatever. I don't know. But I thought I'd come in and say hi. I know it's Christmas, so a lot of people may not even show up. But, there's still a lot of people who don't have anybody out there, and who are alone or feel like they need to just chat. I'm here. Just give me a subject and we'll go for it. I am planning to do more stuff. Right now, I've got kind of working on this idea about pick fair for you folks. So that's an interesting story unto itself, and I'm going to save the rest of it for a latter time to come. So we'll see. And what time is it now? It's 11. Oh, that was the other time. I have to click into my screen. I wish that this would show me what time it is. Oh boy. Let me see if I turn on my TV. Pardon me for a minute. I just want to get the time off the clock. And looks like it's 12 on the nose. Well, good day, whoever's in. Say hey. I'm saying hey. How's everything going? Turn the TV off now. I hate Mama's Family. Sorry about that. I really don't like that show. Oh, gosh. So, just thought I'd hang out here. What did everybody get for Christmas this year? Anything fun? Anything they were expecting? Hmm. So, it sounds crazy, but does anybody have to work Christmas? Just curious about that. I know a lot of places here are closed other than a few limited restaurants and CVS and Walgreens, and I think those are the only two that are open. I think even Walmart's closed today. Hmm. I know I called this Tracy test, but I guess that's what's on here. Let me see if I could do something to change that. Yeah, let me see what I could do here. See if I could just have it with my first name. We'll save it. There, that's better. That is so much better. Well, Merry Christmas to everybody. Maybe I'll just stay on for another 15 minutes or so and see if anybody shows up. But I'm not going to hurry it. So, in the meantime, let's see what I could think of. Anybody doing any cooking today too, or did you all cook yesterday night? I know I cooked not Thanksgiving Day. I did a Christmas turkey yesterday. Pretty much for my husband. Hey, Cindy, what's up, lady? Are you having a good Christmas? I hope so. Anything you're doing today? Did you Are you going out, or did you do your dinner last night, or are you doing dinner tonight and last night? I mean, is there anything that you're up to today? Anything fun and exciting? I thought I'd keep this live, open for a while. I figured if nobody, if there are people who needed to chat or whatever, I know today's Christmas, so a lot of people are spending time with family and friends and whatnot. But there's a lot of us who are like out here and we feel kind of like by ourselves. So it's like, why not just throw up a chat, see who comes? It's like throwing spaghetti up the wall, seeing if it sticks or not. So I know what I'm doing today. I figured after this I would go watch old movies or something on TV. Maybe pop popcorn and enjoy the day of not having to do that much. But boy, do I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Oh wow. Yum. Cabbage and baked. Oh man, can I come to your house? That sounds awesome. I love cabbage. It's delicious. Nice. You having a lot of people over at your house today? Just curious. I don't know what it's like to have a house full of people, considering I come from a very tiny family. I'm the last survivor of my family. My mom and dad both passed, and grew up as an only child, so I don't have any brothers or sisters. And my husband's family is pretty much half gone and half alive, sort of. My brother-in-law, he's in Medellin, Colombia. He's an attorney, and my uh, mother-in-law is in an assisted living home, so it's like, but she doesn't have the withal anymore, so that's why she's there. Hopefully, they're doing some memory care with her a little bit, so she doesn't forget a lot of everything. But she's in her high 80s already, and I would bring her back here to spend the weekend with us, but it's kind of like she has to have 24/7 monitoring, unfortunately. So it's just me and my husband and our two small dogs, and various people I know who come on YouTube, or various people I know who send me emails or whatnot. So it's kind of small, kind of quiet. And here in Tallahassee, it's not exactly a touristy part of Florida, so it is really quiet. Um, it's like I wish we had like an area where you could go see, like a neighborhood where you could go down and see, the lights at night, but there's really nothing, at least to my knowledge, like that. Oh, that's nice. Your brother and his kids. Oh, and your daughter too. Oh, I'm sorry about your parents. Yeah. See, so it sounds like you don't. I mean, it sounds like you don't have like one of those homes with like 50 people in it milling around. I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I had big families on both sides. It's so much. And then the thing too is to feed everybody and make sure everybody gets a present or something, or a little something something. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I'm sorry about your parents too, but at least you have your daughter and the kids and whatnot. So that would be nice, and your brother too. Really helps to have somebody you could commiserate with, even if you argue with them all the time. I figure at least you have somebody. I wish I had a brother or sister to argue with sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying that for real to be argumentative with anybody, because I'm not that kind of person, but it'd just be nice to have somebody to commiserate with, you know, talk over memories with. Even my cousins, it's like they're not that close. Yeah, and I live on the other side of the moon. Like either they all live in Chicago or in the greater Los Angeles area, so that's pretty far. And I'm in Florida, so either 1,000 miles or 3,000 miles. Take your guess. So I know, like I said, I might pop some popcorn, put on an old movie. Um, and if I get dressed a little bit for today, wearing the red sweater and the green um little doodads I'm wearing around my neck. No, uh it's kind of dark in here. But this is what I'm wearing. They look like a little light bulbs hanging down. Little red Christmas lights or more lights dripping down. Oh, yeah, see? Oh, that's cool. You get along great with all 3 of your sisters. That is awesome. And they all live well, at least you have places you could stay all over the country. I do too. Like, if I go to California, I know I could stay with my cousins. And, like, if I go back, back up to Chicago, I might be able to stay with a cousin or 2, but I would prefer to stay in a hotel or something and not be close to them. I mean, I don't wanna drive people out of their own space. Like my cousin Faith, she's great, but she's a single lady now. Her husband passed a few years back. And so she's kind of like a lady at large. She has been keeping herself quite busy since his death. So she flies in and out of, various states where she has friends and, and the external family. So she goes and visits them a lot. So, trying to catch her schedule is like catching a rail car going at like rapid speeds. So we do what we can in this life. Hmm. So trying to think. Hmm, trying to just sit around and be calm. I'm not gonna be too forceful at the moment right now. Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Got nothing better to do. Um, Well, it's sure nice that you came here, Cindy. I really appreciate you being here. And I appreciate Danny Staten for saying hi earlier. I know he came in to say Merry Christmas, but that was before I started the live thing here. I'm still trying to get to know StreamYard. It's a different system than I'm used to. So, like I was going through YouTube, but that was even worse. I mean, it seemed like it was harder to navigate than StreamYard is. So I think I'm sticking with StreamYard for the rest of my duration. And I've only got the StreamYard free. I know that they sell different packages and different tiers of it, but I thought I would just stick to the basic one. That does it for me at this moment until I get really high tech and I get a lot more people watching and stuff. Then I'll do it. But right now, I kind of like my small crowd of people, and I like having all my subscribers, at a small number for now. I mean, like I say, I do this for a hobby. I don't do it for a living, but who knows? Maybe I'll get more viewers, and hopefully, I could really make something here. I know I come on very sparingly lately, but like I said, I'm in between jobs, so at same token, I'm looking for work and stuff. And then thing too is like sometimes I just get so boggled down with other thoughts that I almost forget that I have a YouTube channel, which is not good. Uh, I know people are busy. You see, exactly. And that's what I thought, Cindy. I really appreciate that. And yeah, like I said, this is just a basic hello, how are you doing kind of a deal. Nothing fancy, nothing super special, you know, just something to say hello and to just say, what's up, that kind of deal. So, like I say, I know there's a lot of people out there who might just want to come on in and more welcome, even people I don't know. Come on in and say hey, and you know, because I know that there's people there feeling kind of lonely, and I think about people who don't have anybody in the world anymore. I'm kind of like doing something of what my parents used to do. Like on Thanksgiving, we would not only have like my grandmother over, but we'd have like, oh God, like lots of friends come over because our friends either had families that were out of town or they were my dad's art students or people in the art world that he knew, or just friends that didn't have anybody. They'd come over to our house and they'd have turkey, and whatever with us, and they'd be watching. My dad would be watching the game, and the rest of them would be watching the games too. And my mom and I and her lady friends would talk and stuff. And sometimes they would have a kid or two, so I would play with them if I was younger. Um, but that was it. I mean, and like even on Christmas, my mom threw a huge party on Christmas for a lot of our friends because again, they didn't have anybody. So my mom made like, oh my God, like a ton of spaghetti. I mean, like a spaghetti dinner of what you've never seen. And we had a lot of salad. We had garlic bread, and again, spaghetti. So it's like we had like a massive ton and we're sending people home with leftovers. It was funny. It was cute. But these are the things I remember. But it was real nice. I mean, to help other people out. That's the way I feel like I feel like I could be helping somebody out too. And if you're in between cooking, I understand that. Geez, I really appreciate that because I know what it's like to cook, and I usually do all the cooking here myself because unfortunately, husband doesn't really know how to cook very well, so I do all that in the house. And yeah, that's it. I might just stick around for another like 12 I'm going to stick around for like 14 more minutes. I know it's a busy day for people, but maybe I'll do a surprise pop up maybe later. Wait, yeah, yeah, I see, and then the funny thing with my parents is okay, the both of them were kind of like my mom was an agnost, but technically she was raised Jewish, and same with my dad. But my dad was kind of like atheist, hippie sort of, back in those days. They were kind of like, those they went down the peace marches, they helped sign people up to vote in the South. They did all that hippie dippy kind of stuff, which is good. Yay, that's how they live their life. But the long and short of it is that I grew up knowing um being Jewish, I knew, and it wasn't until like not so long ago I started going to temple and I started really knowing who I was at that point more than what my parents told me. I mean, like I knew the Jewish food, of course, and I knew the traditions and all this other stuff, but I didn't know too much of the religious aspect until I started going myself. I haven't been to temple though for a long time, and I'm not a kosher Jew. So, long story short is my parents we used to exchange presents. I mean, like with the family on Hanukkah, and then like my parents would give me presents, and it wasn't like we were celebrating Christmas, but we did a Christmassy thing where we would just exchange gifts on Christmas. So, I guess my parents didn't want me to feel left out of what my friends were going through a little bit. So, at least I had that, to learn from. And I know they weren't into the religious aspect of it, but they taught me the best that they can, and they taught me values. Take stuff that from away from other people that don't belong to you. Don't pierce somebody else's tires. That kind of stuff. They had bedtimes for me. They always wanted to know which friend I was going to, so that they knew the phone number of where I'd be. Because back in those days, I guess we didn't have cell phones and all the technology like we do today. So, but you live and you learn. You live a different kind of life. So that's how I was raised. I was raised pretty loosely. But yeah, so I've taken on I would say out of the religious aspect with my parents, I'm just a tad more. I but I'm not gung ho, you know. I'm not like some people can be. Because I learned in this life and growing up in Chicago, there's like 3.5, or at least at one time there's 3.5 million people there. I'm sure it's grown a little bit since, but the long and short of it is you learn to deal and you learn to get along with everybody under the sun, and you kind of have to. You don't know who's your boss or who you're going to be hired by, or who you might have as a friend, or who you could count on as your doctor if you needed, you know. So yeah, that's how I look at it. And you never know. It's like I have a friend, he's really cool, a really cool guy. I mean, like I knew him since high school and stuff. He went to 7 years, no, he went to 8 years of becoming a surgeon, and he is a doctor, but on the weekends he dresses just down like everybody else. He dresses, I would say, back like in the house style kind of clothing. He puts on his Nikes and stuff, and sometimes we would go out and see a movie, or sometimes we would just shoot the breeze, as they say. Hey, Danny, how are you? Merry Christmas to you too, sir. And yeah, so people would think he was a thug or something. I'm like, no, Dan. I'm like, he's not a thug. Marcus is not a thug. He's a master surgeon. And you get like these old ladies who were scared of him. And they were usually white old ladies, and they clutch your purses to each other really carefully. It's like, I'm like, lady, he makes more than probably you would ever see in your whole year in a day. But but that's besides the point. The thing is like I was taught never to judge anybody. And besides, I kind of knew what having anti-Semitism was all about. We had neighbors down the block that introduced themselves, and they were really rude people. They broke our house. They broke our windows to our cars and some in our house, and it's because they didn't like Jews and they didn't like hippies and they didn't like anybody but themselves. So my best friends were who lived across the street in my neighborhood were both African American girls, and to this day I'm still friends with them. I see them all the time on Facebook, and it's like we pick up where we left off. So it's kind of nice. It's really nice. So I'm pretty happy about that. Like I say, you never know who could save your life. See, and I come from a big city, and it's like I'm so used to seeing so many people around on the sidewalks, on the streets, and I see people waiting at bus stops 24/7, and trains running 24/7. And it's like, I don't see people down here and I get freaked out. And it's like, I guess it may be the vice versa of somebody from a small town coming to a big city. They're not used to seeing that many people. And it's like, if I don't see people, that's when I get scared. I mean, a lot of places around here are very isolating, even though that they're in the midst of like, stores like Walmart, and there's a lot of other stores. We have a mall, but surrounding the mall, it's kind of empty. And it's like you don't see people on the sidewalks, you don't see too many walkers. People around here, even if the store is 2 blocks away from their home in distance, they prefer getting in their car and driving to it, which is like, okay, now that's something I just don't. I mean, if I drove, I wouldn't be doing that. And no, I don't drive. There's issues about that, but I'll keep those to myself. But the long and short of it is, well, there are really no issues. I just can't see. I have 20/40 vision, and they will not let me even approve me for testing for it. So that's the bottom line. But you see, the thing is that I always like to walk. For a chunky girl like me, hey, I love walking. I have no problems with it. But you see, around here, like, even if you're walking, it's like you're walking and there's nothing there. So, like, if you had to use the potty, there's no, public restrooms between here and where our Publix is. So it makes it very hard. And Publix is like a mile down the road, or probably about 2 or 3 miles actually, but it's not exactly walkable. Excuse me, my nose kind of itchy. I've got allergies, winter allergies. Anybody have winter allergies? So that's it. There's my story, and I stick to it. So, like I said, I think I'm gonna put on an old movie soon and watch Judy Garland and Meet Me in St. Louis. I love that movie, and I love the Little Women too. That was a great old show. But I like watching the old ones, like from the 30s and 40s. That's why I plan on doing a lot of shows, even if it's just me talking. Even if it's just a recording, because I'm going to start, dropping bits like Dave does, where he's not live, but he does put out some interesting facts. So I might do like facts about certain places and people from that time period, um, or things going on that time period. So, long story short is I think I'll be dropping them, even if I'm just sitting here like this talking to you folks. Like I say, I don't know how to add the pictures yet, or do slide presentations and all, but that will come in time. And I'm trying, like I said, I'm still trying to learn. So in the meantime, I think I'm going to be heading out soon, but I might do a pop-up live later on and see if somebody shows up. um well, who knows. But it's been really nice seeing you, Miss Cindy. I really appreciate that you came by. Um, and I appreciate that Danny came by just to say Merry Christmas. That was very sweet of him, you know? So I appreciate all that. So in the meantime, I'm not gonna keep you guys up or keep you up, Miss Cindy. I'm sure you got a lot of stuff going on at home, and I gotta take care of my itchy nose, otherwise it's gonna take care of me. So in the meantime, I will talk to you folks later. Have a great Christmas and enjoy your day. And enjoy Boxing Day if you celebrate that, or Kwanzaa, or whatever you like. And I hope to see you maybe in another live chat very, very soon. And pardon me, I'm still learning all this stuff here. Talk to you later. Bye.